Well, first of all, I want to say welcome to everyone to this training, summer 2020. We've got some really interesting things going on in the people, just to get to know the people, because you'll find that they're from all over the world and they have different positions in life. Some are grandmas and others are pastors, and so you got all kinds of people in this group. So I'm glad you're here, and we're going to have a great time helping parents make some changes. Now, my goal in this video is to help you get fully set up to know what you're doing, what the first steps are, and really how you're going to manage yourself within the environments that we have, and how to get your clients set up. So that's my goal in this this particular video. Let's go through and let me share some things. First of all, let me explain to you, when you're communicating with me, please don't send me any emails or text messages now. We're going to do everything within Slack. You'll see I'm pretty responsive, and you can interact with me there. So there's two kinds of ways of communicating. One is in the channel, and that's where you need to be putting most of your questions. You also can reach me down in the direct message area, but if you send me a direct message about the program, I'm going to say go up in the channel and share the question, because you got great questions and I want other people to see my answers. So most of the time you're going to interact with me in the channels themselves, in the coaching tips channel or the general questions channel. Any of that is fine. Be sure to interact in those ways. Now, when you're gonna, every week, you're gonna send me material in the direct message channel or a direct message area. I'll show you more about that, but the direct message area is down below, and so you need to know where that is and how to use it. The first thing you're going to do is get a parent, and you want to have your meeting with the parent that's going to describe the expectations. I've given you a handout that you can share with them. That's the client expectations form, and you can walk through that with them. They don't have to read all kinds of material. All they're doing is watching 3 videos that are 10 minutes each week. They are meeting with their coach, who is you, and they are practicing with their child. Those are the main things they're going to do. The practice is a lot of work, though. So they need to know that this program is dependent on them as the parent doing a lot of work with their child to change the patterns that exist. You'll be giving them specific ideas, but they need to implement those in order to see some change take place. So be thinking about that, talk to your client, share those expectations. Now, when you do that, you're going to use the release form. So look in the material that is in the BPU 301 program, and in week 1 and in the welcome week, you have all the resources you need for the release form, and also the where do you want to go worksheet that they can fill out. Let me tell you about those so you know what they are. There are 3 initial documents that I usually use now before I get started in the program. Number 1 is the release form. Now, I don't use the release form unless we're in this kind of a training exercise, because people don't need to fill out a release form. I'm not talking to anybody about their case. But in this case, you want to get a signed release form from them so that we can be dialoguing. Once they sign it, which they can do by printing it out on their computer, you can email it to them, or they can get it in the forms themselves. So you're going to email the form to them or text it to them, have them sign it, take a picture of it, and then you're going to drag that right over to the direct message area where you're interacting with me. Select me in the direct message area, drag a file off your computer, pop it in there, it'll automatically be there, and then I'll be able to check that part off of your assignment. The second document is not in the coaching program. We just launched it last week, but you can go to biblicalparenting.org/child behavior index. You do not have to use this document. It will be the first time that we use it in the coaching program. It is a 35-question evaluation using to evaluate children from ages 3 to 18 in 7 different categories of their lives. The goal of this document is to provide clarity for parents of what they want to work on. It's a great document. I'm using it now at the very beginning of my coaching and at the end so that parents can see progress they've made. So it's a great tool to use. I'd encourage you to use it. Self-scoring. They can talk about it. There are resources they can access, but mainly they're going to now get resources that are much more developed from you. The Child Behavior Index, you do not have to send to me. You can look at it, check it out, and use it going forward. The third document is the Where Do You Want to Go document. The parents have this document on their portal because you've helped the parent. If you don't have your parent in the portal yet, you need to send an email to Joanne at biblicalparenting.org. Tell Joanne the name of your parent and the email address, and then that parent will get in. There's no charge at all at this point for that parent to be involved in this program. so that she'll just put them in the program. They'll have access to it for the length of time of this program. Then after 30 days after the program, they will lose the ability to get access to it. Where do you want to go document is a great document to help discern where the parents are feeling the strain and pressure. You're going to help them fill that out in the first meeting if they don't do it beforehand. The goal is to find out, where do you want to go? What are your goals? You got to understand, though, that just because a parent says, I want to work on sibling conflict, or my child is depressed, that doesn't mean that's what we're going to work on right away. We're generally going to start in a systematic way, and we'll come to usually their goal later on. Sometimes it's right away because the goal meshes with week 1. Often that's the case. But we'll develop it more over time. You're just trying to get them thinking about where they want to go. Now, in the initial page, the welcome page, there are, in BPU 301, there are electronic forms. They're also up above here in the coaching tips channel, and you can have the electronic forms. The value of the electronic forms is that the boxes expand as you type. Unlike the printed forms, which you will have a hard time trying to type in them, and you're limited as to how much content you can put there. Your goal is to use those in the program with me. Now, here's what you're going to do. First, let's talk about the status reports. Those are the ones that you as a coach fill out each week. You'll fill that out and you'll drag it again off your computer into a direct message to me so that I can see you've done the status report for week 1. Then you're going to take the content from that status report, put it up in your channel, or rewrite it for your channel, but don't put any names up there. We don't want to use names. We call them dad, mom, son, daughter, whatever. Put the information up in your channel, and when you do, then we'll be able to see what's going on, what you've talked about, what you've learned. So in that way, we'll dialogue. Don't drag files up into the channel. We want to be able to see the text going by, and we'll be able to comment based on the text that's there. So that's the status report. The journal reports are for parents. Now, not all parents like to fill out journal reports. I always give parents my email address in the first session. I give them my cell phone number too. And I say, contact me if you're having trouble. Let's meet more than once a week if we need to. But I encourage them to use the journal forms if they would like, to give me a summary of how this week went before we meet the next time. This gets them thinking a little bit about what's going on, and that's helpful for them as well. So that's how we use the electronic forms. You might consider having them and shooting them out to your parents when you want to report, or you're going to use them certainly as you're talking or interacting with me. All right, you'll have about usually at least 8 meetings with your parent over the time that we're meeting, and each time you're going to report in your channel what kinds of things you learned. You're looking for 3 things. You're looking for successes the parent had, things that the parent learned, and so on. Things that the challenges that they're still experiencing, and other questions that you might have. So that's what you're looking for. You're putting those in your channel, and then I'm dialoguing. I want to interact with you. And I want to help you know what kind of advice to take back to the parent you'll use the videos you're watching, and you'll use the program as it is, but we'll tailor it specifically to your family. Now, in your channel, let's talk about your channel for a moment. That's your channel, and you'll see on the right-hand side in the details section, if you click on details, there'll be a right panel that appears, and there'll be a description and a topic section that you'll want to fill in. You want to put in there the information about your client, because as we're reading this, we're going through channels, we can't remember what's going on with your client, how old the child is, and so on. So put in there something like this. I'm working with a dad and mom who have 5 kids. We're working with a 3rd child who's 10 years old, has a problem with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Then in the topic, you might say something like, we're going to work on cooperation and helping this child learn how to focus. So what you've done now is you've created for us a description and a topic. I don't really care where you put it in that section, but just information we can quickly glance as we're reading through all the material you've written about this family. We can see what's going on there. So keep that in mind as you're going forward. I want to encourage you to visit the other rooms so you can see what's going on with the other parents and their children, and make comments and ask me questions there as well. You might want to do more than one parent in this program. You can do that. If you have recruited a parent, you're working with that parent, that's great. If you have a second parent you want to work with, I will create a second channel for you. So Bill Smith has one channel, and then I might add a second channel, Bill Smith 2, for your second parent. Likewise, you might be saying, boy, I need help in my family. I don't know what to do with my kids. Then fine, I'll create a second channel for your family. that you can have Bill Smith too, and will interact with your a child in your home. You're trying to help bring about some change. I'll give you some advice there. So let's get as much as we can out of this program while we're in it. I want to help you to see good things happening. If you get stuck, you want to contact me. If there's any channel problems with technology, or you don't know what to do, or your client is stuck, or whatever, anything that's happening, you want to contact me so I can keep you going. I've done this several times. I know the kind of things you're going to experience, and I will help you get through them. I want to also say I have created a channel for myself, the Scott Turansky channel, and I will tell you about my clients. Right now I'm dealing with about 8 people, clients that I'm working with, and I will tell you stories about ones that I think are most pertinent and helpful for you to hear as we're going through the program. I'll also tell you things that are going on in my teaching and other ways that I'm dealing with life that may be helpful for you as you're trying to engage and understand what this looks like. So that should get you set up in Slack, BPU. If you have any questions, contact me. Let me just say, Joanne and I work together. Joanne only in this program deals with the technical side that I need to get my parent in this program, or I can't remember my password. That's all she does. If you send anything to her or my assistant Tracy, it's just going to get passed on to me. So work with me. I will help you get anything done you need to do. I love doing this program. We learn a tremendous amount together, and we see miracles take place in the lives of children. So let's do it. Get set up. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me. Ask me in the general questions channel because I'm sure other people have similar questions. Thanks a lot. Let's keep going.